Okay, so this post on Twitter says artists that survived the hate train era. So here is everybody that they put in the post and everything like that. So I kind of wanted to ask you guys, who do you think had the worst hate train out of all of these? And I also wanted to ask you guys who had the worst hate trains of all time and everything like that, and kind of open up the discussion. So before I even give my opinion on it, I do have to say Tate McRae is a sneak. Okay, yes, she's been getting hate recently for the Morgan Wallen collab and everything like that, but I don't really think it's comparable to either of these other people. Out of all these, I would actually say Taylor probably had the worst one. You know, you had the whole phone call with Kim that Kim edited to basically make Taylor look bad, and everyone was turning on Taylor. And it's the reason why she still has her Instagram comments like limited or turned off to this day. And she got a lot of hate for it. She said she basically went into hiding for a year. People weren't fucking with Taylor Swift. And I'll be honest, I was one of those people, okay? I believed that shit at the time, and then it came out a few years later, I think 2020, that, you know, that shit was actually edited. We heard the full thing and everything like that. I said, you know what? I was wrong. Okay, so I didn't really listen to Taylor Swift for a long time because of that and everything like that. And so, yeah, I listened to one Kanye album, The Life of Pablo, which was a good album, but I do not listen to that now. I don't listen to Kanye anymore. That was like the only thing that I listened to because of Slavery's a Choice, etc. So yeah, she got a lot of hate for that. She did ultimately come back with a reputation addressing it, and she was able to have success with that album. I think she had 1 million copies first week and everything like that. So there was that successful tour for Reputation. And so you had that moment with Lover. It didn't perform as expected. She didn't sell 1 million copies first week as expected. She's kind of in a lull. It was number 2, but let's be honest, that wasn't lead single material. We know that. She came back having a career renaissance with stuff like Folklore, Evermore, etc. Taylor released Midnights, which was a huge album, selling, I think she sold over 2 million first week. No, I know at least Torture Poets did. So yeah, she's been very successful. She's came back from it, but yeah, she was really going through it for a time. Okay, so I would say that she had the worst one out of all these. Number 2, I would probably have to give it to Drake, I guess, just because as a man, it's going to be different. He has got a lot of hate for this era, and rightfully so. I will be piling that on, obviously, but he's still been able to have a lot of success throughout that and everything like that. Kendrick making Not Like Us and winning all those Grammys for it. And yeah, like you can tell that it's definitely affecting him. He tries to act like it doesn't matter, but it obviously is. But at the same time, you still had Nokia, which has been a successful song for him. He still has success throughout that. He still has his supporters and everything. I mean, kind of sees the hate train thing as something that's not necessarily self-inflicted. Like, it wasn't really anything that you did. It's just like people kind of wanted to hate you and they found a reason for it and everything like that. So I feel like his was kind of self-inflicted, and some hate trains I actually see are self-inflicted. So I feel like it's two different things. You know, you did something that make people not like you versus people making something up or finding the smallest thing. And like Taylor Swift, I feel like Taylor Swift was more valid. No shade. But I guess just the amount of sheer hate, that's why I guess I would say Drake was number 2. At number 3, I'd probably say Sabrina Carpenter and everything like that. I think it's different. Drake is on a bigger scale than Sabrina Carpenter, so you're going to feel the love 1,000 times more, you're going to feel the hate 1,000 times more, etc. Sabrina Carpenter, I mean, now she's blown up with Espresso and everything like that, but there was a time where, as Twitter would say, she was in the Kia asylum, okay? She released music, and the general public did not really fuck with it. She had her fan base and everything like that. I remember my sister tried to play me some Sabrina Carpenter songs, and I was like, these are not good. I don't like any of them. So yeah, she got a lot of hate because of this situation with Olivia Rodrigo and Joshua Bassett, the whole love triangle and everything like that. And she would later speak on this. She wrote a song, I think it's called Because I Like the Boy or Love the Boy or something like that. And she was just kind of talking about what she was going through during that time. But yeah, she got a lot of hate. There's some people that feel like Olivia could have done more and everything like that. I guess some people thought Olivia was throwing shade on Driver's License, talking about you're probably with that blonde girl and everything like that. I don't know. I don't necessarily think that the hate train is Olivia's fault and everything. Could she have spoke on it a little bit more? But I mean, I guess, but I don't really think it was her fault, if that makes any sense. Joshua Bassett doesn't really have the clout, so I don't really know. I guess people just decided to start hating on her for that. But like I said, she bounced back. When you're having stuff like Espresso and Taste was kind of a minor hit for her as well. Please. I mean, she's had success. She's doing well right now, so she was able to get through it. I think she just had to release good music. I think letting the time pass helps and everything like that. And Olivia Rodrigo is wildly successful. I don't really think they have anything against each other. And, you know, I like both of them. I'm probably more of a Olivia Rodrigo fan, to be honest with you. So that's kind of how I would rank these and everything. Hate trains that I think were also bad. I would probably say Mariah Carey, what she was going through with the entire glitter era. And to those who do not know, basically she was married to Tommy Mottola, who is the head of Columbia, Sony, whatever. She divorces him, and so it was a big thing because he had a lot of control over her career and her personal life, saying what she could wear, who she could be friends with, what she could do, her music, all those things. So when she left him, he was pissed. He made a big deal about it. He was fucking over promoting her music. And so she had this album called Glitter that she was working on in 97 along with Butterfly. She postponed it. She gets ready to release it. She switches labels to Virgin. And basically the company that was distributing the film, Tommy had ties to it somehow. So he basically made her reduce the script down and make it a lot less grittier than she had originally intended. And he was kind of putting her through a hell. The label was not letting her rest. She was filming Loverboy in the desert and just tired as fuck. Like she could not sleep and everything like that. And, you know, it was just a lot for her mental health. So she was going through it. The soundtrack and the movie basically flopped for her, so it was bad for her. She was going through a lot mentally, so you had that. And then you had Charm Bracelet, which it was a flop for her standards, but she still sold over 200,000 first week on Billboard 200. I think it was number 2 and number 3, so I mean that's not bad for a week. But you know, when you have 15 number 1 singles throughout a decade and Through the Rain stalled at number 81, it was hard for her. It was hard for her. And during that era, all the interviews were basically asking her like, how do you know you're not going to jump off the ledge again, like mentally? Like that's basically what they're asking her. If you actually watch the interviews in that era, like they were giving her so much help. So she was going through that. It just didn't perform how they wanted it. And she came back with Emancipation of Mimi, We Belong Together, number 1 for 14 weeks. Okay, so that was a song of the decade. She got her a couple Grammys for it. She had number 1 with Touch My Body and everything like that. As we know now, she's the queen of Christmas. So All I Want for Christmas Is You went number 1 first in 2019. How many weeks does it have at number 1 now? I don't even know, but a lot. So she's eventually going to get back that record for most weeks at number 1 on Billboard Hot 100. Okay, so Mariah has come back from that and everything like that. So, I mean, I feel like that was a pretty bad one that she went through and everything like that. Maybe biased because I'm a lamb, but they were giving her a lot of hell. They were giving her a lot of hell. So you had that situation and everything like that. I guess you could also kind of say what Whitney Houston was going through in the 2000s and everything like that. She came with the I Look to You album, which it got positive reception and everything like that. And she went through a lot after that. And unfortunately, she passed away. So you could probably add Whitney Houston in there somewhere. Britney Spears, I mean, if we're looking at the 2000s, I mean, she got a lot of hate. She was able to have successful music kind of in spite of that. Stuff like Give Me More and Piece of Me, which were big hits for her as well. Circus album having Womanizer, Circus, a song. So those were some hits. So she still was able to have hits despite that and everything like that. But still, I mean, like her whole career, like everyone was shitting on her basically, and she was going through a lot. And then she was in the conservatorship, the circus era, and what, for 13, 14 years. So to not be able to have control all the way throughout your career, like it sucks. And just hearing the stories about what she went through, I really feel the woman. Like that's awful. That's awful. So those are kind of ones that are coming to mind and everything like that. But yeah, like I said, basically I constitute a hate train as something that you didn't necessarily do to yourself. Like they just wanted to hate you. They found a reason, whatever little thing that you did. You were kind of just living your life and they're like, we want to hate this person. It's time. That's how I classify hate train. You guys can think what you want, but I don't know. I feel like if you self-inflict it, it's not really a hate train. It's consequences of your own actions. But let me know what you guys think down below. What are the worst hate trains that you guys seen, and we'll continue that conversation.